Madison is a state park, and it's got some really cool cave diving in it. The entrance is really pretty. I didn't start filming until later, but you have this like normal tunnely looking passage with all these craggly rocks and like a sand clay bottom. And then you hit the spot where there's a little kind of check-in sheet, um, because you hit some really small passages where if an exiting team and an entering team were to encounter each other, somebody would have to do a lot of backing up. So there's a couple clips through here of some of the interesting smaller stuff in this tunnel. It's called the Rocky Horror Tunnel, and it's fun to go through. It's definitely challenging to figure out how you fit. Somebody put a little happy face ball right there on the line. But the reason you go through this tunnel isn't just because it's neat to figure out what you and your gear fit through, but it's mostly because on the other ends, you end up hitting this passage that's much deeper and clear and pretty. So you can see there we're at a depth of 115 feet now. Before we were at a depth of I don't know, 60 something probably, and this passage is very clear on this day, and it's a series of breakdown rooms. And what that means is, as the cave is forming, as water's moving through forming this cave, big rocks fall down and have a big pile of rocks that have fallen, and that's a breakdown pile. So you can see this breakdown right in front of us. So it's this big room, and you kind of go up and over this mound of breakdown, and then come back down the other side, and you shoop-de-whoop around these boulders, and it's just really pretty and clear. You can see how like stark white some of these rocks are, and just the shapes they have it's wild looking. So that's the reason you pop through, is to hit spaces like this, pop through that small stuff. It's not because small stuff is necessarily fun, because if you encounter some kind of issue, you have to go back through that small stuff. So you just have to be comfortable moving through it. Like right there, it's kind of neat how the floor just drops away, and you like shimmy down this little crack, and you're in a tunnel, and you pop up into another, and you've got these kind of features coming off the ceiling. It makes me think of like a cathedral or something. Just how white and pristine and wild looking that stuff is. And again, popping up through another little breakdown section into another room. And some of the features on the ceiling here are just super wild and cool looking. Just stark white ceiling. And then once it's time to leave, as you're pretty deep, so you rack up decompression, you go back through that Rocky Horror Tunnel. So here's a little selfie. It's not difficult. You're just figuring out which way to turn and kind of gently moving through there, because you don't want to damage anything. So it's more of a thinking and doing than it is any kind of like hard activity that's physically exhausting. And then here's us in the basin with the sunlight coming in, doing our decompression after a super fun dive at Madison.